Welcome back everyone, it's episode 2 of the slow roller versus the deflector plates. Today, the second cook, we're going to be doing a couple of beautiful racks of St. Louis style ribs that we got from Bob's Family Butchers. And you know we're going to be using the Blazing Star barbecue pork in and Reaper rub. So without further ado, let's get going. Time to get these bad boys on. So we'll put this one on, we'll get the one on the Big Joe, and then we'll come back in a couple of hours. So now we've got these trimmed, we're going to just flip them over. A little bit on the back side we just want to get rid of. And then we're going to go ahead and take away this membrane. Now, trick to the membrane, you need a paper towel and a knife. Get the knife, like a dinner knife, just get it underneath, create on the bone, just create a little bit of a gap, enough that you can just peel it back, get your finger underneath it, and work, trying to do it the other way around so you guys can see. And it's a little bit trickier. So get your finger underneath, and once your fingers are in, just wiggle all the way around. Have that piece of kitchen paper, tissue, whatever you need, because then just grab a hold of it, and if all being well, episode of it'll be all right on the night, we will get a relatively clean pull. A little bit more on the top here. Get a knife on the bone, finger underneath. Tissue helps grip it, so there we go. So that's one done. Just going to do this way around because it's a lot easier and quicker for me. Like I said, these cooks are not necessarily about the prep of the food or even what we're doing with it. It's more about, does the slow roller make a difference between using that or using the deflector plates. We did a couple of chickens the other night, and in my opinion, the deflector plates lost to the slow roller. So it is 1-0 to the slow roller. Now that's done, time to get seasoned up. So I'm going to do the back sides of it first, and we're just going to squirt some yellow mustard as a bit of a binder. I'm going to do this on both sides. And then, like I said, first thing we're going to start with is the Blazing Star Reaper rub. This is just, if you haven't tried this, head over to Smithys Smoke Shack. It's got the perfect amount of sweet with that spice kind of kick. And then we're going to follow that back with the Blazing Star pork and rub. Making sure we get the sides. And then once that's done, we're going to give it a little flip. And flip and repeat. Bit of a binder. I've never noticed with doing the mustard if it actually gives an impact on the flavour. I've done it with and without, and personally I don't think it does. It just helps that rub to stick. So we're going to go, I love the heat of this. So I'm going to go quite liberal with the Reaper first. Now when I do the wrap later on, I'm going to be doing the wrap with some rib candy. There's going to be quite a lot of sweetness in that as well, which is one of the reasons why I've gone quite heavy with the Reaper, because the sweetness of the rib candy will help balance that out. So last bit with that Glazing style porking rub. These are big pieces of meat as well, so don't be afraid to kind of layer that rub on. It might look like I'm putting loads and loads on, but really the wind is actually picking up, so half of it's blowing off. So we're going to let these sit for 15 minutes. The Kamado is already up to temperature, so 15 minutes, let that rub sink in, and then we're going to get them on the grill. So we're just going to check classic 3. Oh, that's coming on nicely. Probably another 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and then we'll go Big Joe 3. And it's pretty much the same. So we'll come back in about 40 minutes. So classic 3, we've got good colour forming. Still a little bit of a ways to go. Smells great. Then we'll move to the Big Joe 3. And again, colours forming nicely. Probably another 30-40 minutes, then we might wrap. So we're probably 2.5 hours in now. I just want to get a read on the temp. Let's give it a sec. So we're about 180 Fahrenheit across that. Let's have a look at the Big Joe 3. These Thermapens are brilliant, by the way. Definitely need to get yourself a decent thermometer, grab yourself a Thermapen. So let's get to wrapping. So we're going to be using the porking rub to start off with. We're going to give it just a coating on the bottom, because we're going to put the ribs now, meat side down. So I just grab the classic one first. So we're going classic first. You know it's a good rib when you can hold it. Porking rub on the bottom. Just pop in that meat side down. We're then going to take some chunks of butter, pop it on the top. 3 good chunks on this one. Little bit of porking rub. And then follow that up with some brown sugar. And that rib candy I told you about. So I used this once already and it is really good. We're just going to spridge that all over. Made my mouth water, that. And then we're just going to fold it over nice and tight. Double foil as well. Double your foil over. And then that's going to go straight back on, and we'll get the Big Joe one out. So first of all, that pork and rub. Beautiful, beautiful looking ribs. Bit of pork and rub on the bottom. They smell. At this point, I don't care about the differences between a slow roller and the deflector plates. These just smell so good. Get some of that rib candy all over it. And now this is getting wrapped. We'll then get this back on the Big Joe for maybe about an hour, and then we're going to come back, take them out, glaze them, back on for 15 minutes, and then I get to stuff my face. So it's just had a little thunderstorm, so just show you on here, this is the Big Joe 3. You can definitely see the colour difference between the two of them. This is a lot more mahogany, so that says to me that's had a lot more kind of smoke into that. We're just going to put some barbecue sauce on this, and you know we're going to be using Blazing Star original sauce. We're going to leave it open for about 10 minutes afterwards, just to kind of get the glaze to stick, and then we're going to take them off. So we got classic and the Big Joe. It's throwing it down outside, so I've had to come inside. So let's try and get these cut up and see what's going on. So there's a small smoke ring on the Big Joe. Nothing major. But you know when you got a tasty rib when it's all over your face. See a smoke ring? So good. Great balance of flavour. I need to wipe my face, and then we'll do the classic. So we've got, again, slightly more of a smoke ring. So we've got more of a smoke ring on the classic. Oh my God. So through the cook, the classic, I mean, you can see how the smokiness, hold on, here you go. You can see there's just a lot more of a smoke into the, you know when you've got a good rib, when you can flat, balanced on a fork. So both ribs just super tasty. Great bite through it, really happy, but I'm going to give it to the slow roller again. Sorry. See you next time, guys.